real quick. You both stop real quick. Double check the steering wheel.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Nice and smooth. Get it all done all day long. Got a good feeling about today, guys.
Donnie Kite's going to get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
He knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
They say the racing can be bigger at Texas. They say everything is big at No Limits Texas Motor Speedway. And tonight, the Mystic Racing League looks to showcase why that's the case as we get set to go for tonight's action for the Slim Chickens Cup Series. Tonight, Texas Motor Speedway plays host here on VSPEED. Good evening, everyone. I'm Chelsea Prince alongside of the booth for tonight's Morgan Cook, our producer for this evening, as well as Morgan. He's using cameras by the great Dougie Beer. Tonight, we continue to swing at the early portions of the schedule. This field looking to battle it on out tonight from Texas as we look to see how things go out in Fort Worth, Morgan.
Absolutely, and we all know what happened to this racetrack around the 2020 area when they repaved turns 1 and 2, flattened it out, tightened up the radius, and it makes it so that both corners are completely different. And that means an ill-handling race car here throughout the evening.
And that's going to be a challenge for some of these drivers on their iRacing fixed setups here this evening to battle it on out, to say the very least. So we're racing into the later evening in session here at this quad oval. Keep in mind, so far things have been very competitive if you look at the point standings. Aaron Baum's been the most consistent with 6 top 10s and 6 starts already. But some of the various winners, you have Wilson, Hayes, Robertson, Bollinger, all close to the standings. If you throw Becca Brown in the mix, we have a lot of different drivers that are trying to splash their speed early.
Absolutely, it's been a competitive field here so far this season, and I don't expect that tonight is going to change in that regard. A little look at where we've been. Obviously had the clash and the duels that Daytona, Phoenix, Vegas, COTA, Chicagoland. Martinsville was last week. Here we are at Texas. Short track next week, and then on to Talladega. That is certainly going to be an interesting one if Daytona was any indication.
Yeah, especially with the pressure that can pop up when we go to Dega. Keep in mind, you have some wild cards like Eldora on the schedule, Montreal later on in the summertime. Plenty of interesting dates to watch for as we make our way up, especially up to the chase, to decide who will be a part of the Slim Chickens Cup Series postseason with the full point format the way it is for that chase sequence. But as we get ready for tonight, the big thing is going to be, can drivers like Rayshon Winkfield back up their speed, what we've seen at Martinsville last week? Morgan, he's the winner that picked up the W last time out with 250 laps at the paperclip, adding to that win total amongst many drivers in the field. But as we know, Texas is a whole different beast, especially on a build week.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, we already talked a little bit about how the corners are different. Different radiuses, different bankings. Well, turn 1 and 2, I mean, we're going to see it all night. The trouble spot I've heard from drivers is the exit of turn 2. You have a lot of wheel in it. The banking falls away. There's a really bad tailwind today, and it's going to make that car want to swap ends with no steering wheel input in it at all. And then turn 3 and 4, likely going to be close to wide open. A lot of speed off of turn 4, trying to maximize into turn number 1. And it's going to be an interesting spot to make a pass here this evening.
So drivers already finished up the qualifying a little while ago. We have 30 cars on the entry list tonight. Aaron Baum starts on the pole here tonight. Christian Barnes starts off at second, looking for a little bit more luck compared to last night in terms of the Caswell Series. Gavin Henson, top 3. Devin Curl was a contender in that race. He starts off at 4th today. Then you go to row 3. Dylan Brumley will start alongside Clayton Good on your top 6. Jacob Cochran had a family member pass away last night. Thoughts are still with the Cochran family. We'll start alongside River Hayes here this evening after 9-1 penalty difference for them. Andrew Allen will start in 9th in the 01 car. Dustin Lewis in the top 10.
Starting 11th tonight, Charles Robertson in the 17 machine. Joshua Thornton, the good starting effort, in 12th. 13th for Landon Kelly in the 95. Jack Fiftner starts in the 14th position. Row 8 belongs to Zach White and Brad Nelson. 17th will be Alex Pollock in the 92. Caleb Hunt will start in 18th. In your top 20 looks like John Ullman and Lauren Vincent.
21st goes the way of David Moyer this evening with Jared Hofsteiner back in 22nd spot. Shuffle roll back to Joshua Gillen with Corey Powell down in 24th. Colin Bollinger, one of the drivers who will start towards the tail because they were with the first driver down to the time. Rebecca Brown, who had issues in Clayton Air last night. They'll start ahead of Isaac Wilson and McCoy Benke. Start 28th. He did not get rolling off the starting blocks, though. Meanwhile, the last row, Zachary King and Corey Jones, how they start this evening. Of note, one driver has been removed from the racetrack. Alex Pollock will not take part in this race tonight. Outside of that, your quick keys here this evening as we'll pace an extra time.
Well, 207 laps tonight. This is going to be a long, long race. You have a lot of opportunities to make up time, a lot of opportunities to make mistakes and lose time. Make sure you're paying attention at all times here this evening. 45 miles an hour on pit road. This is one of the more difficult pit roads to get onto because the commitment line is right when pit road starts. It's not later down pit road like we see at most other mile and a halves. 7 tire sets and fuel at 37 to 41. That's going to be a little bit strange later in the in that final stage. Stages are going to be at lap 55 and 115, and iRacing fixed setups from here on out in the Slim Chickens Cup Series, as well as all of the NASCAR series here in the Mystic Racing League.
And interesting enough, last night you talk about some of the fuel windows that pop up as Brown, King, and a few of the others get sent to the tail as well in this one. Last night was very interesting on fuel mileage. Not going to be the same type of games in terms of trying to save heavily to make the stage.
I don't think it's going to be a problem here tonight.
Yes.
With saving, but you're right. Last night, absolutely, with the fuel number being 35, 36, and stage being at 40, that left room for interpretation here tonight with it being roughly 40 laps on fuel and a 55 lap or 60 lap stage. I don't see that being a factor at all unless we end up having a lot of cautions. Although I did hear a driver say that they could save up to 60 laps here, and I don't think they know that, but if they could save double the fuel tank, I would be very, very impressed.
I mean, it was possible at Daytona apparently this year in real life. Anything's possible. We're happy with this for tonight's coverage of the Slim Chickens Cup Series here for the MRL. It's set here on VSPEED for tonight's coverage from the Texas Motor Speedway. Here we go on the restart. For the action here at Texas, the overall start for the Cup Series. Green flag is out. We're underway from No Limits, Texas. Start at the front of the field as the top four settle on in immediately. Ball advantage of clean air, but as you can see, drivers like Dustin Lewis try to ride up top, use the third groove a little bit.
Yeah, we saw a few drivers on the opening lap go way to the outside wall. One driver went to the apron. That was Dylan Brumley. Not sure why he bailed from a top 15 starting spot to run back in the deep 20s, but we'll get word on that later in the show, I am sure. But you're right. You can run the second groove. It's a little harder on the tires, but you can be fast if you have to be.
That's allowed Lewis now to get up to the third spot. Looking now to attack for second. He's in full tilt push mode early in this one. Hinson stays up in front of him, though. Make back straight away. Right now, Lewis really playing the game of building these runs here. Yet again, staying up top line. Yet again, earlier in the gas, able to get the wraparound.
Yeah, great exit for the 8. He's should be able to clear the 39. Yes, he will. Move the 8 to second position already.
Yeah, so far, 2/10 quicker than the race leader. Very early sample size, obviously. Compare that to some of the others where it's a little bit of a hornet's nest. You see at the bottom of the racetrack for a couple drivers. Beckham Brown with the EOL here tonight. He is dealing with a little bit of damage from the checkup effect as he went to drop to the tail. See how much the bumper impacts him tonight as King drove by that back straightaway and is flying to catch up to Wilson and Powell.
And Powell almost doesn't check up. Oh, big moment for Powell there. He's going to drive way deep into the corner. 93 should be able to turn and get underneath of him. Yeah, there goes Wilson. Great job setting that one up.
Yeah, everybody having...
Sorry, Allen.
Yeah, Allen filling in for Davidson actually tonight. Good pickup you can put in the car though. Andrew Allen, very solid competitor last season. But the race lead already changing hands. Lewis to the point.
Yeah, Lewis wants to go, and you can tell as he drove a lot of drivers here. Jared Knopfschneider, black flag. Corey Powell with an issue as well. He's wrecked on the front stretch.
No caution, we stay green. Knopfschneider here, he may have gone down pit right lane with it.
We got some help from the 51.
And they still kept spinning right into Knopfschneider.
Yeah, Knopfschneider with the illegal pit entry, of course. And yeah, that's heavy damage. Oh, and he got somebody else. Who was that? Is that McCoy Benke? Corey Jones, the other driver involved in that. That's a tough break. That's no fast repairs in this series.
Yeah. Driver is going to be really hampered there. Powell still yet to come down pit road. But right now, 4/10 quicker. Lewis last time by with the race lead. He's right now putting on the afterjets, trying to pull away from this. All well. Barnes and Hayes battle it out.
This quartet 2x2. You can tell just how much side by side. Oh, contact, curl. Wow, that was just about a big one. And how about Hinson crossing over Lewis? I think the tires got burned up on the 8 because he dropped in a hurry from the lead.
I think he knew he spun the car out actually at a turn 2. out onto it by 3, but that's the problem when you push too hard. You burn up the rears here. You're in big trouble for 3 and 4.
Another driver way out of shape is Zach White through the grass. Yeah, drivers starting to swap ends almost everywhere on this racetrack.
Sliding around for a couple of these competitors there. Zach White in live action who we spun it the second time, but this is how we spun the first time.
We got help.
Yeah. That sports machine got the tires heated up with that contact. Had to fight it for a good straightaway.
We're still fighting for second. Speaking of that, Lewis on the top, Hinson on the bottom. Lewis is going to take it this time by.
Double that spot immediately. Trays out, going back to a couple of the battles. Keep to Hound Pearl. Nearly cut to the grass, actually, to set up the run to the inside. Curl gives him the space. The 17 machine, who's had some solid runs this season. Top 4 in points, 3 top 5s in a win. Will drive by a wrecked car in the back straightaway. That is Brett Nelson with an issue.
Yeah, that's the glass man, and that car looking a little worse for wear. Has with glass all over it.
That glass shattered a little bit on that car.
Cracked at the very least, yeah.
Yes. They'll have to get that car fixed up. Another driver with early issues. That's now 3 this run. So we see Robertson still keep the pressure high. Can't make the move for 6th spot yet. Christian Barnes for reference. Last time through was a tenth slower than this battle on the racetrack.
Doesn't look like we're saving very much to start this one out, JP. I really expected drivers to take it a little bit easier and just kind of ride, see what they had. But we have definitely seen a lot of speed out of these cars. We're starting to drop off on the stopwatch, about 7/10 for your leader from fast lap to last lap.
Yeah, the pace starting to fall back a little bit from early charge. Ball is backing up the corner range, he's noticing, but some of the others like the speed speaking on the machine. If Cochran in the charge ahead in the 88 car here tonight. Cochran stuck in a bit of dirty air though. Hunt, Allen, want some of the drivers in the choo-choo train.
What I'm liking seeing here are the different lines in turn 1. We saw kind of 2 different ideas of how to run that corner, and both of them were fast, which is a great sign here for tonight.
Now what the difference is, what way can you make fast while also making a pass is a big part of all this. Race lead switching hands. Dustin Lewis takes it back again. Second time he's taken the lead this race.
I almost wonder if this race is going to be like others I've seen at mile and a halfs like Kansas, where the leader is actually at a disadvantage. With the more air on the nose, it makes the car looser and want to spin. You have a benefit of being second. I don't know if that's going to be true or not tonight, but we already saw Lewis lose it once and Baum lose it twice.
We kind of did see that because last night was on fill-in for a Caswell Glass Company series with their new iRacing build for that draft package for 2026. And that was the trend. Whoever was in the lead usually burned up the rear tires trying to push in 3 and 4 and couldn't make the bottom line stick. Obviously, this car a lot more different in terms of the handling. We're seeing a bit of race comparisons pop up here. Cochran amongst those top 10 of the points, by the way, trying to find a way around. Now it's dropped all the way down to 15th.
I can tell you for sure, JP, from inside the driver's seat, it was not the rear tires we were worried about. That right front was... might as well have been a block of Parmesan, because it didn't last very long, and when it went, it would not turn at all. But you're right, that draft package definitely made it interesting to be a car in dirty air. I wonder how bad it is out there now. Let's ride on with Gavin Hinson and see what his steering wheel's doing.
Barely moving it, and that's what some of the top drivers need to do when it comes to these types of races is you turn the wheel too much, you're shredding that right front tire.
Got very little wheel, and you can see the orange band at the top. That's centered most of the time. And yeah, he's basically got that wheel straight on the exit.
inside line. Popping up, by the way, up the road. Landon Kelly along with River Hayes. Landon Kelly has charged up 9 spots so far tonight in the Shady Acres machine. Saw John being able to march his way forward, to say the very least. We've seen flashes of speed when he appeared in Daytona. He's made a couple starts on the season. Yet to get a top 10 on the campaign. He finished 18th at Chicagoland.
Oh, got a record from the
Las Vegas.
leaders. Oh my goodness.
Caution.
That's McCoy Benke.
Oh, and River Hayes is the wrong way around as a result into turn 3.
Oh, Hinson
and a
as
couple
well.
others.
Oh my goodness. First
Caution.
off, what
Let's see what
happened to Benke? I think he just lost it on his own.
Yeah.
Just a loose moment, but the leaders are right behind him. Right there.
Down. Wow. They stacked him big time trying to dodge him.
Yeah, where?
So,
what happened to the 39?
yeah, a couple cars it looked like with Hayes and company tried to dodge right. I think he sparked a bit of contact here. Let's see this from Hinson, who's starting to slide back a touch.
Oh, the 81 had. Oh yeah, that's big. That's a big hit for Hinson. That might be. I don't know if that's day ender. That's a big hit for the 39. The 81 is actually kind of where that started with the. He got pointed to the right, and I'm not really sure why.
Yeah, I almost wonder he was thinking the potential possibility of a spin off the track.
Right.
Yeah, checked up.
Oh, he had to avoid the 95.
Ah.
The 95 made that aggressive move to the bottom. 81 saw it the last second, turned away from it, lost the nose, and of course went careening into the 39, who was just kind of an innocent bystander in that one. Yeah, that's just a frustrating situation for all those guys.
That brought everybody down pit road, and we did get some fuel and or two-tire calls, interestingly enough, so drivers already thinking of saving sets. Baum only took fuel only on that caution.
Yeah,
so
Barnes,
a few drivers,
it's the same.
Yeah. This is an interesting play, Morgan, because I know there's a lot of drivers now that were leaders going to get damage repairs, but a lot of drivers thinking about the tires already with the way the stage breaks down tonight.
Yeah, and I'm on that same boat. I don't want to burn a set here if I don't have to. I mean, stage points are important, absolutely, but points at the end of the race pay more if you're running at the end of the race, of course. So I would certainly want to save a set here, especially if the car is driving all right, which it seemed like a lot of these guys were on the free side, which you can usually manage free here and still be fast. I am a fan of not taking tires here, at least also seeing what does no tires do to the car. What does 2 tires do to the car?
You slow down. I guess that's the straightforward answer. But Aaron Baum will choose the outside, Barnes on the inside, Clayton Good also on the same call, chose the inside. First to take tires is Landon Kelly. Got a 15-second stop. Dustin Lewis also took tires. Colin Bollinger as well as Biffner and Ullman, along with Zach White and Becca Brown, amongst those here on tires or repairs for this restart.
I guess I'll expand on that
else
a little bit too, JP. The that 2 tires versus 4 tires making the car drive different is when you take 2 left side tires or 2 right side tires specifically, it has a tendency to make the car turn better. It makes you looser. So if you take 2 tires on the outside, on the right side, chances are it's going to make a loose car more loose. If you put them on the left side, you might tighten the car up and make it drive better for the short term anyway. Once the tires wear out, then of course it'll be worse, but you might get that benefit on the short run here. So that's, I think, what drivers are testing. And the same, when you keep the same tires on it and just put fuel in it, that also has a tendency to make that car turn a little bit better in the center of the corner. So it's going to be curious to see what do those no tire and 2 tire changes look like, and do you need to take 4 all the time for the rest of the way here in Texas?
So coming up to start lap 23, Baum and Barnes now on the front row. Can confirm basically a majority of front runners did not even go on the jacks for the 2 tire thought process. Green flag is out, back and away. Landon Kelly, watch him to be on attack mode to try and hold some distance here. The way this stint could play out. He's already looking a little bit tight though on the colder tires.
It might take a lap or two for the 95 stuff to come in. It says top two have gapped everybody else. And look at the speed through 3 and 4.
Yeah, a lot of these cars are tiptoeing, making sure they're careful here on the throttle. No push for the 95 quite yet for the race lead. It almost feels like Kelly is just saving hard on these tires and just in case. We're seeing that with a lot of the drivers outside maybe Bollinger. They aren't charging like rockets as some may think. Here's the race lead though, side by side.
I think the difference is that the speed on the lap time on these two tires comes out of 3 and 4, not 1 and 2. So you just want to maintain out of 1 and 2, get in a position where you can let it rip on the high side, just like Dustin Lewis is trying to here, and get back up to the lead for the A2. Slides into second ahead of Baum.
So there's that speed now coming to play. 29.9s, 29.8s for them. 30.2s, 30.3s. I think the big thing is, with this car, fall off isn't necessarily the massive thing. Like, take for example last night again. Fall off was more than a second and a half.
Right.
This package, not really expecting fall past 9/10 if you're good for the course of 30 laps. Race lead, Lewis takes it back away.
Yeah, Lewis got a hot rod here today. That 8 car is bad fast. 95 is pretty stout as well. I think it's going to be between these two at least for the near future, potentially the stage win, as we're only 25 laps into this one.
So far, 3 top 10 of the season. Okay, look at Zach White, well up the groove this time. 77's already taken some slides here today. And obviously, how does it impact you as a driver when you have such a battle early on? Nearly wrecked the car a couple times. You can see he's giving a lot of give and take. He's letting cars go.
Remember the last time we were at a mile and a half? We saw someone just about spin there. Last time we were, actually that was Dustin Lewis who had just about spun off a turn 2. Last mile and a half we were at was at Chicagoland, and we saw a lot of drivers not finish that race due to wrecking the race car. You do not want to be the first one, well in this case to be the third one out of the race because you pushed too hard on lap 27, right? There's some give and take to be had. We're not even at this first stage yet. Don't take yourself out of it, and if it means tiptoeing around 4/10 off the pace, then it's better to be in the garage area.
By the way, in the mention for the race lead, just look back on the footage. Lewis and Kelly actually made contact initially, Morgan, when the pass was made out of turn 2, because Lewis, I think, was trying to lift off the throttle a little bit to stabilize the car, while we seen Kelly build up a run. And that's seen that slide. Now the 8's going to have to get right back to work. Bollinger up to the top 5 with that pass.
And Bollinger, an affiliate car, 53, so not sure who's going to make this pass easy or difficult for Lewis, who has been about the fastest car here to start this one out.
Yeah, so far Bollinger ranked 30.311 last time by. That's a couple 100s quicker than the race leader. Drivers like you see here though, also trying to solidify some momentum. You talk 48 machine here, Beckett Brown. Making an appearance here tonight from the back. Up to the top 10 already, and he's fixed the bumper.
Yeah, one of the biggest movers of the day, up 17 positions. Biggest mover so far is Colin Bollinger. Up a even 20 spots in the 53. That's what happens when you don't take your time. You got a fast race car, so you can drive to the field.
And you know how to drive the racetrack is the key thing. We're seeing a lot of these drivers, meanwhile, in the back, have to push hard. Curl, he's fixed the front nose with all the repairs done. Black Dot Motorsports machine, Joshua Gillen just up the road from him. See while Curl handles this, looks like he's going to try the high side to maybe make some moves.
Oh, he had to make Gillen lift. Take the spot away.
Yeah, forces the lift, and that's kind of the goal when you do a pass like that. Force the car on the inside sometimes, get off the throttle if you're able to pitch down on exit. Behind him near spin with the 07 side by side, meanwhile, involved in the front spots. They nearly crashed with Vincent getting loose off 2. Everybody's having issues off 2.
I think that's still that tailwind we talked at the top of the show. Drivers told me that is the treacherous spot of this racetrack, is bomb under fire from Barnes.
Tires coming to play. Bomb nearly snapped around. Good hold on as the Water Force machine cuts back in front with Barnes. Lewis is right back up to the top 5 and is ready to pass them both.
I think the good news that all drivers should be feeling right now is that if Dustin Lewis has been able to effectively buzz the right rear tire multiple times and still drive back through the field, these tires have a lot of durability in them, and you can probably survive making a couple mistakes and be able to still be fast. We have a spinner in front of the field, at least someone who is well off pace. Not sure who that is.
Brad Nelson.
Brad Nelson.
I think the glass completely shattered. He just towed the race car. That's the second spin down the back straightaway today, by the way, in that situation. As we look as the 27 continuing to battle it out. Bomb showcasing some happiness up there. Got to be careful with the seams possibly here. Absolutely.
Big moment. Holy cow! He got big time loose out of turn 2. Able to hold on to it, but yeah, he's running the high side on both ends, right around that seam. Seems to be working out for him.
Yep. Trying to almost limit the amount of turn even more so, even with the higher line. Because normally this is a bottom feeding racetrack, but the rubber buildup, right now he's running at the edge of where it's actually planting down to the corners where you see that groove settling in.
It almost reminds me when they had that PJ1 compound here in that groove, where they would run right at the top of it, and if you stepped over it, you'd back into the outside wall, a la Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch. Although this one is a rubber groove, and you can run outside of it without backing into the fence. It's just a little more treacherous, maybe, than being right in the rubber.
Seeing as we continue to battle on out the course of this one. Still watching some of the areas like King claw the way forward. We're talking a little bit earlier, the Meatball Motorsports machine. Not trying to add some meatball flags tonight. One of those who rolled the dice in the Caswell Glass Series. Same can be said for drivers like Joshua Thornton looking to get some good momentum here on the outside. Let's buy the 55. This is the battle for 8th.
Oh, not happy is Isaac Brock, right in the back of him.
Not sure where that came in. Thornton driving Isaac Brock's car here tonight. Settled right back in behind the 55 and got a better run on the bottom.
That was interesting.
Oh, and we have a car cutting through the grass. Christian Barnes mowing the lawn. Got loose from the top 5 also.
Apologies, that was Pfiffner and Thornton. I'm so used to seeing Isaac Brock in that green 21. Apologies, everyone at home, but yeah, that was just about a moment there. My goodness.
Brock has made 6 starts of the season, but you have the opportunity for someone to fill in for the owner's points line. That's what we're seeing for some of the drivers tonight. You're going to see Reggie Kime also for that 9 machine that's popped up here in the field. So a few drivers at the very least have the substitutes trying to score some points, make sure they're good in owner standings to keep their cars in good standing for the whole season.
Yeah, the team standings are something that drivers and teams are really going for and pushing for this season. They really want to be at the top of the sheet when it comes to that. So that's why we're seeing, fill-ins and drivers being released and signed and all that to various teams. It's just the ability to try and go out there and get the most points you can every week and try and get that team points championship at the end of the season.
Kelly storming fast in 30.8. The fall off is hitting about exactly where you wanted to be, 9/10 of a second. Same can be said for Colin Bollinger. He's right now in the 30.9s himself, but he's within the draft possibly. You watch that interval though. A little bit different on the corner entry. And it comes to Kelly and Bollinger, but it's not enough to really chip away. If anything, Kelly a touch bit quicker on the apex portion. They continue to equalize out by the backstretch.
Yeah, Bollinger gets that run, as you mentioned, the draft down the backstretch. But yeah, right here, Kelly pulls away, and then right on the exit, Bollinger gets back into gas a little bit better, and the interval drops a little bit more here.
Away another half a 10.
Hurt the shift there, too.
Yeah, with these cars, you're shifting through the gears, try to maximize those RPMs. Make sure you don't burn up the tire, because if you keep it in fifth, yeah, it will save a little bit of fuel, Morgan, but it'll also cook that right for the tire off.
I mean, if you're already fighting a car that wants to spin, keeping it in fifth might be the answer as far as keeping it from getting super loose, because you are in the lower, you're in the lower RPMs, you're not hurting the tire as much, all that. But yeah, you're right. If you're fighting tight, then that's not going to make life any easier for you.
On through with a couple of the drivers here. Isaac Wilson,
Big
a little loose. Yeah, Thornton having an issue himself too. Both of them got loose out of 2. These drivers are really fighting with these race cars. And we're right now about coming up towards the final laps of stage 1 already, Morgan. That's how long this run's built up, with a lot of these drivers just having to fight hard in traffic.
Well, I think we got our answer for if 2 tires is a good idea. The top 4 all took 4 tires at the pit stop. Landon Kelly, Bollinger, Beckett Brown, who just got around Dustin Lewis, or was working on it anyway. Those 4 all on fresh tires. Baum took no tires, Good took no tires, and Pfiffner up through the field, he took 4. So you can kind of see that if you have a good car here tonight, 4 tires is going to be very important. 2 tires, you can hang on to it, but it's difficult unless you have good track position.
Now, at least
oh, we're wrecking. River Hayes is in it.
Onto the wall goes Hayes. No caution. We stay green. That was after a big slide by the Country Candles car tonight of Caleb Hunt.
Not sure why Hayes was back here in the first place. Maybe just damage repair. It was damage repair. Just trying to save it to the stage. Yeah, contact. Oh, 19's trying to stay off of Moyer. Yeah, clip the 81, clip the 07. Yeah, day gone from bad to worse for Hayes as Landon Kelly's under fire for the lead.
You know, the remarkable thing, checked out the replay side. Colin Bollinger for the past while has been doing with right front significant damage to the fender. Fender caught up. It doesn't matter. He's got the speed as a driver to outweigh the damage, and he is looking to try and make the pass. Closing to the final moments of stage 1. Bollinger, a little bit of air, nearly making contact. Landon Kelly able to hold on with a small bobble out of 4.
It's going to be difficult from here on out to hold on to that high side with Bollinger right down there. Oh, and Bollinger's going to force him even higher up the racetrack.
Well up the track, Kelly again gets the run. Again, the Shady Acres machine able to clear back around. They both take the top side this time. Dirty air for the 53.
And I almost wonder if that's not the worst thing. If you can get the car to turn, you can get the draft down the straightaway. 53 still there. He goes a little bit higher even in 1 and 2.
Yeah, trying to find a way to get clean air. Ways that Tommy Ryan said last night. Better way to save the tire. Even the left front headlight for where the bumper is. Bollinger, here we can jump the cushion as we see the battles outside the points marks. 10 of Joshua Gillen down in 16. Letting it try and shuffle. Jared Knopfsteiner just getting around. As some of the drivers having some slides here. Baum still fighting it out. Trying to hold off Kevin Lewis right now.
Yeah, Baum, this is a car to watch. He's the first driver who did not take tires and has been in the top 5 the entirety of this race. We have some good stage points here if it shakes out the way it looks like it will, and I would look for this 2 car to have a very strong day. He's the points leader after all.
Absolutely. Going to continue what's been a solid consistency streak. When it comes to top 10, nobody's been close to that level of consistency. But the race lead still is side by side. Bollinger got loose. The delusional car nearly went for a slide again. Having a reset. Only a few more laps to go in stage 1.
Yeah, 55 is the target. As soon as the 10th place car crosses to complete 55, that's when the stage will be thrown.
And right now, with only a couple laps to do the battle, we're talking 3. Not much time to go. Joshua Thornton has that 21 car in the stage points at the very least. Right now trying to hold on to that cushion. Some of the others do battle it out. Good. He's dropped back. Barnes, he's powered his way back to 7th as we come up to 2 to go on the stage.
Battle still on for the lead. It's 2/10. Bollinger, not a good exit off of turn 4 that time by Kelly. Going to leg out the advantage. It's now 3/10 as they dive into turn number 1. Up to 4 now. Here comes a 53 off of turn 2. Way high. Might catch the fence. That stalls the run for now.
Right now, Bollinger moving up the racetrack as they go. Pit lane already closed. Kelly looks comfortable. White flag for stage 1 this time through. Final time around. They have a more than 2-second cushion for the stage. Brown, Biffner, Baum amongst the current top 5 on the racetrack. Landon Kelly so far 28 laps led. Continues to hold on, but drivers like Lewis fading late. He looked to be a contender for this stage 1 early. Not anymore. Oh, wow. The driver who took the lead after his misfortunes and a bit of a bumper, the 95, Landon Kelly, wins stage 1. For Kelly, he continues what's been some stellar speed here tonight, Morgan, as he gets the stage caution flag with Bollinger, Brown, Fiffner, Brown, Baum, Barnes, Good, Thornton, Wilson, Lewis does hold amongst the top 10, it looks like.
Had 2 cautions, one for stage, of course, one for cause. 9 lead changes already in this first stage. What a good one. We saw here, there's your top 10 in the stage on the left side of your screen. And Landon Kelly, stage winner. We'll have a chance to talk to him if he's in the server. I believe that is who's in race chat 1, JP.
Possibly, believe. I mean, on the bright side, the main thing, had to allow Landon to at least make the pit stop and then get the opportunity to go from there. And obviously, the call going to be 4 tires and fuel, especially for those who saved the set for later tonight and still have 6 total sets coming into this pit stop.
The tire strategy already starting to take effect. I'm not exactly sure how we play out from here. Obviously, you're going to want to take those 4 tires. If you didn't the first time around, and I think if you're someone like Dustin Lewis, you maybe consider not taking tires and put them on at the middle of the stage, but you're still off sequence the rest of the way here. I don't know if you have enough to be able to take tires here.
Let's find out where the play comes in as everyone peels down pit road. Keep in mind, Bollinger might have to take the time to fix the fender first. Wouldn't be surprised to see him peel down as we're already at 2 to green. No wave rounds hearing, of course, the radio, because the last car that would have been on the lead lap, Lucky Dog Corey Jones, is getting repairs done. Looks like drivers are taking tires. The majority, vast majority, are up on the jacks, taking a set of fresh fuel goods here. Kelly gets the win over Brown, Bollinger, Baum, Fiffner just lost out of that race. Barnes amongst the top runners out of pit road here, Morgan.
Everyone back on even stuff here for a while, and even the drivers who took 2 or no, or even drivers who took 4 tires in that last stop took 4 tires here. Whole field now on those, as you said, 4 feel goods So we try and start stage number 2.
And real quickly, you mentioned conversation maybe with your stage winner. Joining Landon Kelly here in this one, your stage winner here so far. Landon, talk to us about the speed here tonight in the 95.
Oh, dude, we're flying fast tonight.
How so?
Can't tell you. That's trademark.
Well, so I know it got physical for the race lead as you come up to the choose, already comfortable on the outside. Coming up here real quickly, how do you then approach this now that you got the track position for stage 2?
Mainly just save those tires. Tires are everything here. Colin had to burn up his tires trying to catch me there, and I feel like I had a pretty big advantage there to be able to win the stage. So focus on tires.
He actually has a damaged fender on top of that. We'll see how that battle fares out for you. Good luck here in the stage. Landon Kelly, take a quick opportunity. I guess it's trademarked. I mean, I don't know what to say on that.
It's patent
He
pending.
is fast.
Patent pending. Clearly has it figured out here. Won that first stage. Passing 12 cars to do so, at least from where he qualified to where he is currently running.
So, Becca Brown, this is the first on the inside. The first on the outside is Kelly. Ball chose inside, Bollinger chose outside. Good. Gifner, Cochran, Barnes, Ullman, Wilson.
Little housekeeping as well. 3 drivers out of the race. Nelson, Benke, and Powell. Corey Jones, only driver, laps down. He is 7 behind the leader. Warren Vincent, last driver on the lead lap, in 25th.
Coming up to the restart zone. Race to about lap 115. Was about to note. Race control did confirm over the radio. Green, green, green. We're back on our way. Outside line gets the jump initially. Bollinger still dealing with the fender damage. And we know he's a fast car despite that. Some of the others continue to shuffle 2 by 2.
Look at the gaggle off of turn 2. Nowhere to go here. Cochran about to get split 3 wide. Dustin Lewis trying to get around Curl. Seen that 8 car be fast all night. 3 wide for just a moment. Oh, he nailed the outside wall. That's probably going to put a damper on the day for the 8. He falls back rather quickly. Yeah, that car's hurting. You can tell. Curl still trying to fight around the 0-1. Here comes. That was Barnes, the elevator move.
He's looking to try and see if he can ride into the top at least. He's riding at the bottom for now, though. Tries to get himself past the 55 in the Form Energy Machine to form up some momentum. There's the send to the inside. Barnes getting clear. Not about it. He's trying it. Not going to. Just that ability to hold on to the fender and hold the outside, so pivotal to do that there.
Try and fight back here. Fantastic in lift. Bobbles a little bit on the bottom. 55s will take the spot away. We've kind of seen that, I think, that the outside's the way to go for the pass in 3 and 4. Because you don't have to worry about getting pinched off the corner. Then in 1 and 2, I mean, it's kind of dealer's choice. You can use a guy up like we're trying to see right here. Or you can roll the bottom, or you can roll the top. They're all acceptable.
And right now, the top 3 with all this battling we're seeing for 4th on back is running away. They're nearly a full second up already over the course of the run. There's a look right now at the next 3 looking to be the next breakaway. With Curl as the caboose, 55 Fiftner as the front charger. Look at that with the difference in line still coming into play. Change for second as well from the road.
Oh, big wreck behind him.
No caution yet. Vincent is around to the back straightaway. Hinson is around. Caleb Hunt's in the wall.
That's got to be a caution.
Joshua Gillen also involved. No caution yet. They're still wrecking. Caution. Let's take a look at this one.
I think it started with the 19 up in the wall. Yeah, I got loose. Oh, it was the 07. 7 got loose into the side of the 39. Hunt nowhere to go. Yeah, that's frustrating.
I mean, at that point, if you are the case Hunt, it just fell in your lap after your own mistake.
Right.
But Vincent, remember, has been fighting this car. It's been evil for him off of 2.
Absolutely. A lot of wheeling it right here. Just steps out.
Did that have anything to do with him staying in 5th gear in the course of that corner like he was there?
I don't think so. I think it's just a case of, I mean, it's so free. Had a lot of wheel in it. Yeah, this tough racetrack, tough corner. Haven't drivers said that that Texas 1 and 2, or the exit of turn 2 of Texas, is one of the hardest oval corners? Did I hear that correctly somewhere? On the NASCAR circuit?
It is very tricky these days with the difference in banking, because it's not just about how you drive it, it's normally how you set up in the first place, because the balance of how you have that front splitter is so critical in the first place to how the downforce works, because you want it sealed, and it's hard to get that balance right in an open setup side of things, just to get that right. Obviously, with the fixed side, you have to get a feel of how that is for how the setup is in the first place. And look at this.
Split decision.
Some split calls. Yeah, much of the field is pitting.
Well, I think the reason is this gets you pretty close to the window. With a little saving, you might be able to get there. At the very least, your pit stop will be shorter when you do need to pit. Brown, Pfiffner, Baum, and Robertson keep it on the racetrack. Everyone else on pit road for just a splash and go.
No one really taking tires here, unless you're there for repairs like Vincent and Gillen. Lucky Dog, Jones, this caution. Jones still 6 down or so at the moment. But Becca Brown going to become the race leader. Leading a back-to-back race days now. This time in the 48 camp on fill and duty.
Yeah, he was fast last night on the short run. Double Zero had some issues later in the race and relegated himself back to 11th with a few penalties and mistakes and all that, but was very fast here last night and continues to be here this evening.
2 of the 3 starts when it comes to Becca Brown have been phenomenal. He won at Coda, remember. 24th was a little bit of a rough one, 24th spot there after starting at the back. But he finished top 5 at the Paperclip last week. Just doing a good job when it comes to his speed in the 48 machine that we've also seen shared, of course, the season with a couple other competitors. And it looks like he's looking to choose outside. Yes. And look, Pfiffner also to his bumper.
Yeah, and the 48, Beckett Brown, just a wheelman out here. The guy can just drive, just flat out drive the race car. While there's a little bit of work to be done when it comes to saving the stuff, I mean, clearly has the raw pace required to run up front in these races, and I don't think it's going to be too long until we hear this kid's name everywhere.
Looking to try and control things now, with Aaron Baum being the first driver to choose the inside, by the way, in this. Robertson is the only other driver who stayed out on this call, also chose the inside. Zach White, EOL penalty for this restart sequence. Everybody else ready to go.
Yeah, he missed the choose.
Yes, indeed. He was towards the tail in his situation, but he'll definitely drop to the back as a result. That's why it's so critical to make sure you get the choose right. You don't want to be that driver that would hit the choose box. At least it's not a choose car like some series.
Yeah, the choose Beetle that I've seen on racetracks, that Beetle packs a punch if you hit it. So I definitely want to avoid that. But here, just can't drive on the dash lines. You got to be in either the very bottom lane or very top lane to start-finish line. And you're in good shape here. Obviously, 77 didn't do that, but we're about to get back racing.
Here we go. Brown in control. Green flag is out. Great jump on the outside. No one else caught up with him on it. Off and away, and they're bumping and banging for second.
Yeah, easy clear. He's got him by a mile. Down in the turn number 1. Could take it easy here for a moment. Bomb right on the back bumper. Thought he would be by the time they exit the corner. He was not. Here comes a big move from Pfiffner. Blocked by the 17 of Robertson.
How do you taco? How about a big block? Oh, taco, that case. Aaron Baum shuffles back behind him. Here come the drivers on fresh tires, though. Curl wants those, driving it on the outside. Should say fuel only on that spot for him. Curl trying to show, even the car's a little heavier with the fuel load. He's still got the ability to slice ahead.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around Blocko Taco, and we have a gaggle of cars back here. What a race Texas is putting on in this next-gen car.
Oh, we had some sliders in the back there. That was David Moyer we've seen throwing up. Everybody else is okay. The race lead. Robertson trying to join the fray. Up in front. Black Diamond Machine. Picked up the win. A part of Daytona, remember. During the season opening weekend. Started 32nd in that race for the Mystic 500. He's looking to the outside.
He got there. He is to the door at the start-finish line. The last kink in the quad oval. He's going to sail it off into turn number 1. Can't quite get it down. Oh, they got loose on exit. Oh, he's sliding. Oh, my goodness, what a save. Unbelievable.
Curl nearly ran him over trying to dodge. Curl 2nd. And the short track ace able to jump up to P2. And Baum trying to hold firm for the 4th spot will also. As Jacob Cochran also joins in on the fun. But now it gets interesting with the 15 having a bit of track position. We talked about Devin James Curl on the Asari Motorsports machine. He's up at the point into 2nd spot amongst these errors, while Jacob Cochran nearly knocks the wall down, trying to get the run on the outside for C4. Just how hard they're willing to fight it out on the side-by-side. So difficult to clear when you're even on pace and on tire spins, even with the fuel differences coming through.
And this is not an easy track to pass at, regardless of what we've seen a few of these drivers do, namely Beckett Brown here up 24 positions from where he started. This is a tough place to set up a pass. You have to be really patient here. It takes 2 or 3 laps to get one done.
Drivers keeping an eye on Landon Kelly, we know is flying through. He did take tires when we previously had the pit stops there. So a little bit of a tire difference, not a major one though. We know once we equalize, that's going to be difficult for him to charge up from. But on the short run, just going to be a touch bit quicker.
Yeah, that move is curious to me because I didn't think we had enough tires to be able to take them like that. I mean, that was only a 9-lap run where he took the tires, and maybe the hope is that he just is able to stretch it out so far that when he hits, he doesn't lose all the time, but I'm not really sure on that strategy for 95. How about River Hayes, too? That car was in the inside wall not that long ago. Up here in the top 10, running 8th.
Yeah, I know what the accelerated machines was referring to when it comes to the Curl's storyline. Curl's picked up the win already in Caswell competition, while Hayes has done so in the Cup competition here in Slim Chicken competition. But everybody else single file right behind him here on the shuffle. Some of the drivers like Isaac Wilson have been very quiet. One of the drivers we expect to be contending for the championship early in the season.
Yeah, still early in this one. 130 laps left. Haven't quite finished stage 2 here. 40 or so laps to get to that point. As Kelly had a big moment off of 4.
Having some big time battles, you see him on board. Cochran able to zip by. Cochran was on the fuel only on the last caution flag. Oh, and Kelly having to hold on to it, gets his seatbelt buckled. Here comes Hayes trying to hold on to the outside now.
Yeah, that was close. It's closer than you want it to be, that's for sure.
Now, that's put him on the back foot because that's heated up the tires a little bit.
And crossover has to go back to the top side here. Hayes to the bottom. Hayes get the pass done? No, but he stays alongside for the entirety of the backstretch, it looks like.
Hayes' car looks pretty solid. He won at Phoenix, remember, missing Daytona. Chicagoland was also his direction in victory lane. Right now, Hayes still yet to make the move. A little bit difference on the approach, but there's the ability on the inside line to be able to gain so much ground from the bottom. That run back by Kelly, no bobbles to get the pass back.
High side momentum, difficult to fight when you have a car that's hooked up, and 95 clearly is. Here comes Pfiffner trying to get around Hayes as well. Hayes going to close the door on him. Pfiffner says, nah. We're still here. Might cross him over into one, decides better of it, and set him up again for turn number 3.
This here, Pfiffner. Middle back of the line, nothing doing for the pass attempts. Everything's settling in for the most part. Most of the field staying to the bottom in 3 and 4, except for the 2 of Aaron Baum, who's hitting the short jump on the high line. Right now, this field, thinking about the mileage have to come into play here also. You mentioned in terms of those markers, you have to go less than 40-ish laps to work with here on the stage. Still pushing on the fuel windows here for a lot of these drivers over the course of this run, as you hope it stays green. In some circumstances, and a couple others, hope for a caution equalizer. There's a few drivers back here having some bobbles.
A few drivers back here trying to be the caution, it seems like. Drivers bobbing and weaving all over the racetrack, but I don't think anyone can make it to the end of the stage on fuel. I think we're still a little ways from that as Hayes getting worked over by the 55. But I still think you're going to have to short pit here to get to the end. But when does that happen? 25 or 16, depending on when you pit laps. On this run, we estimated 37 to 41 on fuel. We've got about 30 laps to go here. It's going to be tight.
Right now, one thing I'm noticing, not really any clutch and coast strategies for any of these drivers on the racetrack. A lot of the cars back here, 13th or so, they've lost a fair bit of ground, though. You're talking 4 seconds. Andrew Allen on fill and duty tonight. Goes to the outside to try and lead this group.
Now this
these drivers,
I think is safe,
but not clutch and coast fuel safe. They're running just slower in general.
Right. Christian Barnes, what I'm looking at in particular, leaders running 30.5s, Barnes running 31.2s. Yeah, 31.5. He's a second off the pace. I think he's on the save it until the end strategy. He did pit at the right time to be able to do that. I just don't know if he's going to be too slow, if it's going to work out for him.
Yeah, you're talking to the back end of this group. It's 10 seconds behind the race leader. This is going to be an interesting point for all these drivers who look to try and run the slower pace out, try and plan things out that way, up the front of the field. Some drivers are still pushing. Landon Kelly now under attack again. Bollinger this time getting alongside yet again. Can't get the way around. Already some scrapes on the 95's front nose.
I think drivers have now started to figure out what their car can do. Some drivers we didn't quite see at the start of the race, like Jacob Cochran, finding how to drive this racetrack consistently. Robertson's another one, Devin Curl as well. And Beckett Brown, drivers who were mired back in traffic at the first portion of the race. A few mainstays up here still, like Baum, kind of been up here all day. Landon Kelly as well. But if you're starting to see all the green rise to the top, you've got a lot of very fast drivers up in the top 10.
That shuffle sees Kelly fall back behind the 53. Let's Bollinger go. Bollinger nearly went to the door of River Hayes. A couple of drivers are already nearly taken off the spoiler here tonight. It's in time, by the way, for those curious. It's nearly 6:30. So likely, once we get to that fourth stage, we'll be competing with under the lights here to close out the race. It's still late evening here in Texas.
And that means that if you were struggling for grip before, it's only going to get worse as the track gets faster, especially out of 3 and 4. 1 and 2 might grip up a little bit, but you're going to be very free as this track has a tendency to loosen up the colder it gets.
Track temp isn't expected to plummet yet, but it's expected to go down at least 2 degrees later on. Track temp holding at about 95 Fahrenheit, you see. 83 is the air temperature. It is a mid-May skybox, not like an early March skybox. Some may think for these conditions, hence why it's a little bit more balmier here. As someone who's been to Texas a couple times, it gets hot in Texas too. It gets bigly hot.
Absolutely. Everything's bigger in Texas, including the temperature readings in Fahrenheit. In Celsius, for that matter.
And the bugs. Don't forget the bugs.
And the screen on the backstretch, too.
Now really stands out, especially with the crave to have the biggest jumbotrons possible. And Bollinger has really good long run pace settling in, by the way. 30.6 last time through. His average is on par with the top 3, and that's why he just passed by both the 88 and the 81 who now look to battle.
I turned it on, as you mentioned, and here's the battle side by side. This for the 7th spot. Cochran has it. Hayes wants it.
Believe we had someone stop on the track and tow him a moment ago. Lauren Vincent was on the outside wall and was dragging against it. We stay green. He was out of the way, though. That's the bright side.
Let's see what happened here to the 07. Happened out of 4, it looked like.
Any other track this could have easily brought up the caution flag, because with the way how high that higher groove is, not many people are going to be up against the wall like he was after this issue on the front stretch.
Oh, he just popped the wall and then it ripped the front off of it. Zachary King had an issue as well. He got a black flag. I'm not sure what for. It's like maybe just too fast on pit entry. Will happen next time by here, but that's going to relegate him to a very disappointing spot considering where he was running. Was up running 12th, I believe.
That puts a meatball to his race chances here. He did indicate on the radio he was pitting. Believe it was on entry.
Yeah, I think he just sped on pit road here. I mentioned earlier this is a very difficult pit entry to get onto. And we're going to see why kind of from the roof here. So the pit commitment line is right here. You got to be slowed down for. Usually it's right around this area, so he just was way too fast at that part of the racetrack.
Yeah, it's a little bit more deceptive with some of the new graphical updates to this racetrack, I've noticed, especially with some of the new sponsorships they picked up on that part of the pit road. Really throws you off as Kelly throws himself past Cochran. Cochran, he's now fading at the worst possible time here. So we are already working away quickly near the halfway point.
Yeah, still about 20 to go in the stage. Driver starting to spread out here. Not a lot of battles on the racetrack. Thornton trying to chase down Allen, a pair of fill-in drivers. With teammates as well today.
Yeah. And remember, Allen's a really good driver. We've seen him last year. Very consistent as a competitor. This time letting on by the faster Thornton in this case. But Allen in particular was a top 10 driver for much of 2025 in this series.
Ullman on pit road. I think this is scheduled.
Only 30 laps.
I mean, if you don't think you can make it, and I doubt anyone's going to be able to make it here. If you know you can't make it, you might as well pit here. If you're going to take tires, you can kind of leapfrog some competitors considering the pace has fallen off by 8, 9 tenths.
And by the way, taking tires, originally the plan for King, it appears, may have been taking 2 tires for a speeding penalty. As you see, Brumley's both had the same thought. Now the question is, Take the 4, take the 2. Some of the others starting to make pit calls because some of those that did not top off are already at 41 plus. River Hayes wants those who topped off under the caution.
Oh, he got a black flag. He sped.
Oh, that's not good for his race at all.
No, pushed a little too hard. Didn't miss it by much, but missed it nonetheless. Here comes Baum.
Charges his way past the 53 again. A lot of comers and goers here in this battle for the third spot. And keep in mind, when it comes to Baum, he's nearly at the mark to pit this time through. Bollinger, difference is he has the 9 extra lap difference on fuel to go a little bit longer. All this round, Brown has stayed around town and is led by a wide margin here.
I imagine we're going to see the 48 come down. Maybe this time or next time by. Not this time.
Yep. Keep on going, no calls yet. Right now, see some of the others just try and back up the corners a little bit extra. Hearing that David Moyer also coming down pit road. He joins these drivers. That
black flag
includes
for Allen and Moyer.
Yeah, that looked like he was locking up and almost going a little bit lower than normal for that run on the pit access road.
21 got a speeding penalty as well. I think we've got more speeding penalties than lead changes so far in this one. Devin Curl up to the point.
I think the field is very used to, because I'm noticing that now with you mentioning that yellow cone
is way
where
early.
it's at. You're talking about 150, 200 feet compared to last year, by the way.
Right, and the cone is against the inside wall, which is white. You can't see the cone until you're right on top of it. Normally, that cone is out on the right side of pit road where you can see it. So that is also a little bit of a curious placement. See if we can catch a driver coming to pit road. You can kind of see it right there on the left side of your screen, right side of your screen, I should say. The cone is up against the wall and not out where that line would protrude to the racetrack.
If I wasn't racing the racetrack or up in the broadcast booth, my thought would be that would be the commitment cone, not in terms of the speed limit cone.
Which just are the same things here, right?
Exactly. And that's what you pick up as you watch along here the past few days. Christian Barnes, by the way, up the road. You see him, Joshua Gillen, saving hard. Devin Curl could lap them.
This is where this strategy, if you're Barnes and you can't make it, you essentially just cost yourself a good finish here today, because you're going to go a lap down and really be struggling. Curl has to pit. That's what we are fairly confident in. But yeah, if Barnes can make it, that's going to be a heck of a run.
I tell you, as you see Wilson push the tempo, both those cars we just talked about just got lapped by Curl.
Beckett Brown caught the wall pretty good.
Well, that's not good for him, because he had speed before the pit stop, down in 10th, now 9th. I think the car looks okay, though. He didn't damage it. He just scraped all the paint apart.
Right.
Or these drivers watching along. Landon Kelly, he's backing up a little bit earlier. That might be a little bit too conservative from Kelly.
I would much rather give up half a second into pit road than have to hold for 40 seconds in the pit box because I sped. As Corey Jones picked up a penalty as well for speeding on pit road.
Another one. You can make a song out of that. Oh, wait, they did.
Yeah. Yes,
Darren
they did.
Opsnutter, a part of those stretching. Same can be said for some of those. Now you see some of those that are already taking the stops, battling out too. Bollinger already zipping by for the top 10.
Curl's on
there
pit
goes
road.
Curl.
Hands it over to Wilson.
We have less than 10 to go or so in the stage, by the way.
Dom
So this
Schneider's
is,
on pit road.
that's expected. He was at 40-41. Wilson Carquin at 40-41. Barnes already at 40. 40 for Zach White. He just came down. That leaves just a couple cars left on their attempt to try and go far, far, far and away set up a top off only.
88's on the way in right now. That's Cochran. No speeding penalty there. Wilson in right in front of him. And the lead back to Curl, who only took fuel, no tires. As the 27 is going to get around him.
Yep.
So it's not going to be a stage win for the 27, but it might get him track position.
Might still get good stage points in general because he's been marred once the traffic and once the top 10. His bed's already made.
It is.
So there's no other way you can go about this. If you want any chance, you have to find a way to do the improbable, if not near impossible. His other drivers like Gillen are well off the tempo and already zipped by Bollinger. A good corner behind all of this too. Barnes is clutch and coasting all the way to turn 4.
Beckett Brown was able to recapture the lead. He's got Curl right behind him, 7/10. We might have a race in these final 5 laps for the stage. Yeah, can Barnes make it? That's the big question. Joshua Gillen as well, as you mentioned. Only 2 drivers to try and stretch it to the end here. I think Gillen's out.
He's sputtering. He is hard onto the clutch. I think he's still got gas in it. He's just lifted, coasting that hard to try and keep the lead lap here.
Well, good news is that he has a long way to go before he gets lapped again. It's about 25 seconds, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Black Diamond Miners, more sports machines. Definitely taking a gamble here when it comes to the 10 or WFR machine. In the case of Barnes, you're up to the top 3 with all this. Right now, talking about the top off difference, some of the drivers as high as 4 to 6 seconds they spend in the pit lane. Curl punched the number exact to what he only needed to make the rest of the stage with less than 5 laps to work with.
And as long as he has enough in the tank to make the pace laps, or the 2 pace laps, whatever required to make it to the end, and the pit stop should be just fine. Of course, penalty for pitting under the closed pit road is quite severe. So drivers last night have that issue where they stretched it in stage 1, but had to pit and ended up losing a lot of time doing so, as Gillen is now on pit road. Which is bad news for Christian Barnes fans because he's on the same strategy. Still got 3 laps left, 2.5 anyway.
But right now,
and there's a real chance that he doesn't even make it on pace to get a top 10. Because 10th place right now is the 55. And Barnes is just up the road.
That gap is only about 2 seconds. Pit road's closed, so bed officially chained down to the floor also. Barnes, he cannot duck down unless he wants to risk a penalty here. He better find a way to coast. Landon Kelly ready to charge past him. Barnes well down the track. His speed difference at least 10 miles an hour off the corners right now. Look at the 88 nearly run him over. 1 to go on the stage. Barnes right now may get 10th at best because Good is still 2 seconds back.
Clayton Good's going to put on a monster lap here if he wants that stage point, but can Barnes make it to the end of the lap anyway? That car is exceptionally slow right now. Still gaining speed, so still has fuel.
Stage 2 already complete for Brown. He's already picked up the stage win over Bollinger.
I don't think he's going to get there.
Here we go. Can he hold on to stage points for 10th on the coast? No! Good. Took away the final stage point.
Unreal.
Unofficially, Brown, Bollinger, Curl, Wilson, Baum, Robertson, Kelly, Biffner, Cochran, Good inside the top 10. So it's Brown who gets stage 2, Morgan.
Yeah, that is definitely an interesting round to the finish for Barnes, but great job on Brown. And great job on Bollinger as well, overcoming Curl, taking less fuel, and being able to snag second in stage.
43 laps led now for the 48 car here over the course of this race. That at the moment is your race high. Does Brown have what it takes to win a second start as one of the part-time runners in that 48 car? He looks to be capable of it when you give him track position.
Yeah, he's been able to manage properly. I mean, he drove away from the field before the pit stop. He had a pretty big gap before they hit pit road. Was conservative into the box, of course, not wanting to speed like some of his competitors did. And now let's re-rack him and no more scheduled stops the rest of the way.
Here we go for some service. This should see drivers take some tire sets. A lot of the drivers for fuel only remember just moments ago. Make sure they held on. Josh McGillen, by the way, did not make it on the strategy. Where he pit, put him into a wave around position for this caution period. The 1 lap down mark now. But everybody else on the jacks to take some service, 4 tires and fuel, likely the case for a majority of the field. Carl overran his pit stall, though.
Barnes,
That's
black flag.
cost him. Christian Barnes talked about the issues with pit road. Looks like he's had that black flag cleared, though, by race control. Brown come up ahead of Bollinger, Baum, Kelly, Isaac Wilson. Wants the top 5 of the race off pit road. Everybody did indeed take 4 tires. Barnes just now got to his stall, having to roll his way through pit lane. But that sets us up for a quick discussion with your stage winner, Beckett Brown, one of the DIM Motorsports machines. Morgan, it's your turn. He's with you.
Beckett, Morgan and JP up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, well, strategy went your way, speed went your way, you end up winning stage number 2 as a fill-in for the 48. How was stage 2 for you, and what's it going to take to get this win done?
Definitely a lot better than the first stage, getting damage on lap 1. Staying out there, I think, was a strategy. You know, why pit for fuel when we're not going to make it either way? That clean air really prevailed for us, but I think if we can just get these long runs, we were the best there. After the pit stop, we started pulling away again.
So are you saying clean air is going to be king here tonight? If you can get clean air, you have a great shot at winning?
Definitely not clean air necessarily, there's the word, but more of not having to work as hard on your tires to get around people. So I guess more track position, but the aero is definitely plays a big role on how the car handles it loose and tightens.
Absolutely. While we have you up here, anyone you want to thank or shout out for the run so far and what we can expect the rest of the way?
And motorsports, of course, we got the 2 car on the pole, and we're back up here now since we didn't get to qualify. But other than that, let's just go have a clean rest of the race and lock it down and get the win.
Awesome. Thanks for your time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Beckett Brown, go back to where his team discussed things as he'll control things up the front. Colin Bollinger will start next to him. Then Kelly on the inside. Ifner and Good towards the outside inside. Robertson, Lewis, Brumley now wants the top 10 or so. Towards the choose with Ullman, also wants the top 10 cars in the line. Back 6 car on the inside at the moment. Now is the big thing. How do you plan out strategy? If you add up the fuel numbers, you are still short by 6 laps for a 1-stop. Here we go with 88 to go. Brown on the gas, off and away, and he runs away to start. So the 48 able to get some good speed to start off this stint, while Landon Kelly could not clear by the 53. Bollinger, who's fixed all the fender damage, keeps it to the door.
And these two have been racing together basically all night long, and this is going to be an epic battle all the way to the end. As Beckett Brown really slow on the exit, missed the corner, 3 wide. Oh my goodness. Into turn 1 at Texas, do not advise.
Usually not the best of results, but Bollinger gets in front, but we have a caution. Caution flag is out, a spinner into Knopfsnyder is in the wall. There was also an issue with Good, who actually got into the 82 to bring up this caution, Morgan. Watch for this, because Good tried to save the car and nearly saved it. Problem is, he used Knobsnutter by accident as a balancing board.
Yeah, just a little bit free. Had it, and then it just went up the racetrack and barely clipped the 82. Pretty good hit to the 82's right front as well.
That contact puts us back under the caution. Knobsnutter, his viewpoint, what did he see?
That's a big hit. That's got to be wheel damage, I would think, to the right front.
I think it more so hit to the rear, but
I think the rear was just cosmetic, if there is any damage on the car at all. Like the rear obviously caught with the sheet metal or the composite body, but I would be really worried about that right front just going up and smacking the wall, because that's usually how you get the most damage on that toe link is by hitting it square like that. I don't see anything. We're going to find out here if he loses a bunch of time, I suppose, but as Bollinger's in on pit road.
Interesting enough, at the time of the caution, he made the pass stick for the race lead. So this might be a bit easy to explain, Morgan. Do you like one-stoppers? Bollinger just put himself in a window for it.
I would agree. You mentioned 6 laps. We're working lap 5 since the stage started, so yeah, this is the time. If you're going to try and stretch it as well with the pace laps, that'll help also. Yeah, one-stoppers on the menu now.
Dustin Lewis, Devin Curl on the call. Find out who's able to capitalize here as a result of this play.
And tonight, unlike last night, the one-stopper seems like probably the right call this evening. Last night, the tire fall off being almost 2 seconds at times made it so that you basically had to pit twice for tires. Here it is so slow. It was very easy to erase the pit stop time. Whereas tonight, with the pace only dropping off by, under a second, doesn't really make a lot of sense to bank on the 2-stopper when 1-stop is available.
So with 84 to work with, 84 laps to go, Brown stays up at the front of the field with Landon Kelly, Aaron Baum, Isaac Wilson, Jack Fiffner. Once those in the top 5, and it looks like a lot of the cars, knowing how well that outside's beginning to jump, are staying synced up on the outside. We'll see how they keep here together here. First on the inside, it's a 2 again.
Everyone making their choose nice and obvious, but yeah, this 2-car Aaron Baum is just hanging around. He's been up front all day, led some laps early, won the pole, of course. Clearly has a fast car under him, but as the track conditions change, remember we looked last time, it was 95 on the racetrack. We're down to 89 Fahrenheit, and the groove is rubbered in. This track is changing significantly, and I'm very impressed by the 2 to still be up at the front, because that's a lot of changes in this one. As I believe Robertson got a black flag for choose violation potentially.
Biffner as well getting one. Those were 2 of the cars up towards the front, Morgan.
That's right. Absolutely right. Robertson falling back. Fiffner not yet. That's the 3rd car outside. That red, white, and blue car with stars on it. Form Energy on the 55, not giving up the position. That will not be met with positivity.
Going up to the restart, this time through. Brown still in control. 83 to go for the green. We're back on our way, and the inside doesn't go.
Yeah, black flag for the 55. I don't believe that one's going to get cleared. Here comes Kelly. Look at the run to the outside for the 95.
So Side by side for the race lead. Baum already trying to hold back the pack, but it's Kelly who zips around the outside to take the race lead back.
Yeah, easy clear for the 95.
Everybody else looking to battle out in battle suit. You see the Hornet's Nest really popping up here, 2x2. 3 wide a bit in the back, in fact.
Yeah, Curl cut good a break. We came off the racetrack. Curl had to lift out of the throttle on the exit of 2 with one right in the back of him. Probably going to be a similar story here off of 4. As we're looking 3 wide again. Oh, someone caught the wall. Is that Lewis? It was Lewis. 3 wide another time.
Right now, really trying to sort out fast what they're going to do here. Look at these runs pop up with White having to back out of it. A lot of these drivers who topped off wanted to make at least some track position up here to get into a rhythm. That's easier said than done. Hayes pushed up out of the groove.
Yeah, White got put in a bad spot, and he's still reeling. That was 2 laps ago. Almost got Hayes in the outside wall. I think White's going to be able to settle down now and settle in here. So Hornet's Nest is now in front of him, but yeah, that was just about a tough break for the 82, for the 81. Another one tonight.
Right now, some of those like Bollinger we know are going to be on that game plan. What's kind of your thought process if you're the 83 machine, or the 53 should say, knowing you have a bit of flexibility here in terms of this game plan, and knowing some of the others are obviously going to be very, very tough to be able to get on those same marks as you can now in gas.
Well, if I'm the 53, job number 1 is become the first car on the strategy. Right now, that is Clayton Good in the 91. That's job number 1, is get that position so that you are controlling what everyone else in your strategy does. Job number 2, make sure you can save enough fuel to make it a one-stopper. It's all for naught if you push too hard right here and burn too much fuel. Those are your 2 goals here. And then, of course, once you get to the pit stop, make it efficient, make it clean, and continue to be the car leading the group so that you just have to worry about making it in the race, and hopefully it all falls in your hands.
Yep, right now, a lot of those other cars just going to see how things race out, to say the very least. You see that right now. A couple of the competitors still up the front, Brown and Cochran on some of the side-by-side up the road. There's a look at Brumley. Now he feels it's attack time. He's pushing ahead.
Now, I want to say that is the best the 9 cars looked all season. Brumley, a lot of speed here in Texas tonight.
Yeah, Reggie Kime has been up and down in his starts. We see Brumley fill in for a couple different drivers this season. Now, looking to fly at the right time.
We're near 4 wide back here. Oh, that was that Ullman. Missed the corner a little bit there. Tight
Look
spots
at
for
this.
entry.
Yeah, Ullman in all this has been pretty wide, Morgan.
He almost got a little too snug and caught a driver in the right rear, just like left rear, just like we saw with Knopfschneider earlier. Able to get around that 3 wide. Yeah, he is way up the racetrack. He's using all of it here, working alongside Zachary King.
There's the settle and into the inside for Bollinger, now looking to move up to 7th. Still 74 laps to go.
Barnes caught the wall.
Yeah, a lot of these drivers having some issues here. Trying to steady on it. Brumley pushed out of the groove in the quad oval.
And Cochran goes up and just about took the lead away. Got really loose on the door of Kelly. That's going to bring Beckett Brown back to him.
Screens popping up on the radio for a moment there with some slides, but Cochran, he wants to get the lead for more than 1 lap. Still looking to get the advantage.
Aggressive downshift for the 48. Gonna try and roll the bottom here. Other 2 on the top side. Oh, big wiggle for the 88. That's going to give the spot to Beckett Brown.
At this point, you see with how things are going here, do you like the approach we're seeing from some of the drivers on this aggressiveness at this point? Hold on, that was a near squeeze, Isaac Wilson.
Brumley caught the wall at the same time, and my answer to that, JP, is it makes for excellent TV, doesn't it?
It definitely does. As a driver, it's a little bit of, okay, I want to get these done quickly and easily, not intensifyingly hard to burn up all my stuff.
Well, that's just behind the wheel. You got to figure it out. Curl into the door of Wilson, right side of your screen.
Yeah, Wilson really trying to steady up once again with Curl. And Curl's already had a few scares this race. It's been a bit of a battle since having track position earlier. Curl has had a hard time getting himself out of the chaos.
I mean, we had talked about how hard it is to pass this racetrack. It looks easy because drivers are making mistakes. But it's so hard to make a pass here if the driver in front of you isn't over-driving it.
Yep, looking right now as everyone else continues to charge. Less than 70 laps to work with here in Slim Chickens Cup Series of competition. There's Fiffner. Remember, one of the drivers who's been in the top 10 most of the night. That 55 is looking pretty impressive. One of the best races you could argue for him. Cochran, by the way, after battling for the lead, has faded fast.
Yeah, he made the tires mad. You can tell he's dropping like a rock here, and he cannot wait for this two-stop strategy to take effect, so he can get some feel goods on this one, and hopefully make it better.
Yeah, at this point, anything you can do once you get to this point where the tires are angry to calm down, you think?
Just have to basically drive. If you're driving at 100%, you got to knock it down to 80 or so, just to not put any more heat into them. Hopefully get them balanced back out heat-wise from front to back, left to right, as Brumley through the grass, taking the path commonly traveled tonight.
Yeah, so far, seen after getting up to the top 10, things have gone spiraling. We've also got a spin on the front straightaway live. Zachary King has gone around on his own, but no caution. Here's Brumley.
Yeah, just a bit of a Dukes of Hazzard slide there. As we'll watch for the 51. Running all by his lonesome. Basically exactly the same thing. Round he goes into the grass, back up on the racetrack, and I don't believe anything more happened. Didn't hit anything.
Look at this with 3 wide. Again, Curl pressurized. Cochran just shuffle back again. River Hayes. Muscles trying to slice. Remember, Hayes on the same call as Bollinger when it comes to the fuel windows here. Like Hayes now saying it's a little bit of a time to keep up because he knows he is now net second on that strategy of the one-stop attempter. Curl trying to find a way back to that spot does as there's the look at the front.
And don't look now, Kelly was under fire from Beckett Brown for a moment. I think we got big issues. Yeah, we got a big crash in the front stretch. Oh, they're still wrecking. Robertson, the 01's in it. That's Andrew Allen. Well, one-stop strategy drivers, yeah, you didn't like that. That's not what you wanted to see.
Caution flag is out and some of the contenders in it. Robertson taking a heavy hit. A little bit of a good job with the radio, and this is why.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be complaining to anyone about that one. That's just, yeah. I have no, I would have no ill will if I was either of those guys involved in this one. Let's have a look at it one more time. Let's watch from the 01, maybe. It'd be probably a better look at it. He slides up. 17's going to get the run. 17 slides up. They both catch the fence. And there is nothing you can do if you're the 01 trying to avoid that. I don't know who
that,
the other car in that was.
Zach White.
Zach White, but there was another car that went bouncing through. The Brad Nelson, maybe. Maybe Corey Jones as well, went bouncing through the grass.
See the right here.
It was Brad Nelson.
Nelson, hard contact.
Yeah, that car's destroyed. It's going to increase the drivers not able to finish this one. That list will now be up to like 10.
So this guarantees everybody's now in a one-stop situation. Everybody, as you would expect, coming down pit road. Thornton getting the lucky dog this caution period. And a lot of drivers are going to take a set here. Beckett Brown on 4, Colin Bollinger on 4. Most of the field, in fact, all the field, I think, took 4 tires. And that will see the race off pit road go the way of Landon Kelly. Over top the 48, the 53, the 2 in the 15. And racing incident is the call for that incident, by the way, Morgan.
I figured it would be. That's where you jump up on the radio and you complain about someone making a mistake like that, and then you watch the replay and say, yeah, they didn't actually do anything wrong, and they really couldn't have avoided that at all. Happens. We all get frustrated in the race car. I mean, you get frustrated on your daily commute, probably, all you watching at home. You've been upset at a driver somewhere, somehow, some way, and look back at it and realize, yeah, probably, maybe not that driver's fault. Maybe you could have done something differently and all of that, but that's part of it, right? That's racing.
So we come up to the choose this time through. And next time, it looks like, yeah, that's the waiver run, should say. Landon Kelly wants those who choose the outside yet again. That outside's worked all day long when it comes to those jumps and the restarts.
And I don't know how much of it is being on the outside and how much of it is just being the control car. But I guess one of the things that could be a detriment to the inside lane is the fast line through that part of the racetrack is up against the wall, right? You cut the first quad oval, go up to the outside wall, and then cut the second quad oval, and it pushes some of those marbles down to the bottom of the racetrack where the 53 is going to be restarting. That could be a bit of a detriment, although I don't know how big of an impact that is.
Couple of choose violations, Thornton and King on this situation. 61 to go. We get back going here. And we'll see how well these drivers plan out their strategy. Remember, if you go on fuel, you're talking about less than 30 to go, an optimal window to come down pit road for the money stop. Here we go. Kelly sets up for the launch yet again from the outer groove. The restart zone they work. Green flag is out, backing away, and look at Brown. He got a good jump too.
Yeah, Brown's alongside the 53. Like he's probably going to get this spot away. Well, fighting back on the bottom is Bollinger.
Trying to maintain the bottom of the racetrack, does hold on a second. Now in line with Brown. Top three look to take off. Look at the difference in corner speed. That top three a lot more comfortable, but so is Bollinger. Look at the side-by-side pop up behind with some bumping and painting as drivers like the 55 get on the door.
Yeah, 55 caught a door from the 8 of Lewis, pushing him up the racetrack, almost made that a melee. Able to work through it, thank goodness.
All this is with the field now setting up on the bottom of the racetrack here, trying to set up the normal groove. Race lead, pressure is on, as we said. Bollinger last time through. right even with Kelly, within 1,000th of a second on lap time.
53 there.
Gets this completed. Bollinger takes it, makes it. Kelly tries to keep it up top, but no. Bollinger takes the race lead. Only 2 laps led so far for the 53. Now he looks to change that fact. Right now that distance already growing up a little bit over the course of this one now, as Brown looks to steady himself out. They have grown the gap already to nearly a full second between second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, Baum is about to get ganged up on by the field. Curl's going to be the first one to get to him. Really, this group is fighting to be who's the first one to pass the 2. Curl looks like he'll win that race, but Hayes not too far behind. As you can see, there's quite a gap, as you mentioned, in front of the 15 now.
Right now, Hayes looking to cut inside. Nearly got to the bumper of Baum. River Hayes getting a little bit more aggressive. Remember, after the slides earlier, yet to lead this race, but he has had top 5 speed at times tonight.
As Kelly and Brown are still definitely in touch with the leader. Bollinger not able to pull away yet.
Yeah, look at this with some of the shuffling we're seeing popping up right now. Good, we've seen his bobbles earlier. Good night, you could argue, for the good heating and air conditioning machine. But it's all about, if you want the points, you better be great. Right now, the 91. The big thing is getting long run pace to contend.
Yeah, this 91 has been sneaky good all season. It's run well on all the 1.5 miles. And I'm curious to see the rest of the way if they will continue this just quiet run of just consistency. Hasn't been a world beater, hasn't been up here leading a lot of laps, but definitely running solidly in the top 10. Not the first time we've called his name this year.
There's the shuffle for the gaming machine in front of Wilson. I'll get back in line for the race lead. Look who's got the inside this time. Kelly found a way to slice and dice. Looks to try and cook something up. A bit of a slide behind. Caution flag is out. Good is involved. We're under yellow as a hard slam for Joshua Thornton.
Oh, we got Knopfschneider. Got Brumley as well.
Yeah, some heavy hits. Thornton blew the motor. Let's see what happened. The 93 also with damage with this.
Oh, the 93 is where it happened. Oh, that's a big hit for the 21. Oh, man. See if we can get a better look here. 93 is where this all started.
Heavy hit, to say the least, once again popping up. Let's see this again.
Yeah, just loose and then hit the brakes to try and save it. Put the 55 in the fence. And I don't know what happened to Thornton, but the brakes just did not work in that one. He nailed the wall.
That ends up putting us in a spot. We're going to have a caution still outside the fuel window. Here's Thornton's situation. Well behind the incident first, but got clipped late.
He didn't get clipped, he caught the grass. That's we can see that. That's a weird one. I'm not really sure what would cause it. Drivers on pit road now, not missing much here. Kelly and Brown stay out, everyone else on pit road. Yeah, there's a 21 off the corner. Yeah, the car just turned right. I don't really know what happened there. That's a weird one.
Right back to the caution flag as a result. And much of the field pit again.
Right.
A lot of drivers trying to stretch their field marks. A lot of top offs. A few drivers did take some tires like Aaron Baum and company.
Yeah, a few drivers, I don't know if they're out of tires, but they're going to be close to it. Some drivers making their 7th and 8th pit stops here. Some drivers their 9th. Kelly and Brad have only been up pit road 5 times. They definitely have at least 2 sets remaining to get to the end of this one.
So this puts us with 50 to go. Kelly, Brown, Bollinger, Lewis, Ullman amongst the top 5 now. Keep in mind, Bollinger, Lewis, and Ullman did take the fuel-only calls for this sequence. And we're already seeing some of the drivers like King have to come down pit road. By the way, we're under 20 cars remaining in the race. This puts us with this caution about maybe 17 cars left. Fiffner is amongst those who have also had to tow, by the way, over the course of this yellow flag period.
This should put us, not many cars left. King's the last one running, 11 laps down. Corey Jones down 10. Yeah, Thornton and Fiffner will get past here in not too long with the meatball flags that they have. They'll have, I believe, 17 cars remaining in this one. That's probably not what they expected considering last night's race. Remember that, you obviously had the call on Green Flag TV, the Caswell Glass National Series, where we had 1 caution for cause all night, if I'm not mistaken, and that was right off a restart.
Yep, and now this restart already getting itself really quickly formed up. Here's a look at the race recap: 7, including stage caution so far. As we get ready for the restart. Attack is on if you're in the case of Kelly. Bollinger ready to keep the ball rolling for this fight, but look who's amongst those up in the front again. Dustin Lewis with his strategy. We know he's also fast, right on behind him.
Look at all the marbles at the bottom of 3 and 4. I mean, these tires are just grating here.
We go to the restart zone. Kelly looks for the launch. Green flag is out, back on her way. Looks like the outside gets the better jump with Brown again on the count. Looks like the rest of the field looking to get itself ran away over the course of this one. Let's find out how things go for the rest of these drivers.
Rebecca Brown had to look to the inside in 3, didn't quite have the momentum. 2 car lengths back of your leader, Kelly. Be under fire from Bollinger if he's not careful.
Right now, Bollinger is already looking feisty. Same can be said for some of the others. Lewis dropped quickly behind some of those who topped off, and some of those who took tires like Carl and Hayes are flying.
This is getting down to the pay window. If you have any kind of advantage, now's the time to flex it. You should have another set of tires left in the pits. If you don't, well, you got to use it all right here. This is all you got.
Right now they're running out of time to be able to do something. Curl looking for second, make a third. Race lead peeled down for second for a moment. Curl looking to try and find his way in the Cup Series victory lane tonight. Jumps up to P3.
Oh, going to be a tough battle here with the 53. Got a little tight up off the corner, side by side down the front through the quad oval.
Up here we go. All this as well. They work their way over the course of this run to set things up for the race lead. Brown again pokes underneath. Looking like the run's back on for Bollinger. Bollinger nearly scraped the wall down. Carl blocks off the run again. Here comes the boost in the pack as the 15 looks for second.
Missed the bottom. If he's going to try and diamond, not going to have good momentum here on the exit. Hayes with the opportunity to take advantage down the backstretch. Alongside Bollinger, not quite to Curl. Will get there now. Still, the 15 squirts ahead in the corner.
Yeah, right now nothing doing even with the tire difference. River Hayes also in the same boat here, able to get around the 53 at least. But coming up to 43 to go. Contact race lead. Landon Kelly holds on. Brown in the wall.
Wide.
Curl goes right on through the middle and passes them all. Contact for the lead, and Hayes takes advantage too.
And the two drivers you didn't want to see up at the front based on the strategy are the two drivers who cycle up to the front. This is bad news for Brown and Bollinger.
Yeah, this is the worst possible timing with that contact, and now their tires are both buzzed, to say the least, here for them, along with Kelly's. So those on the freshies going to have that little advantage. 3/10 quicker last time through. Curl with the clean air with 42 to go. Green light on fuel in a couple laps.
They still fight behind him. Brown missed the bottom. Is Kelly still trying to fight back up to that front group? Working on Cochran right now. This is for 5th.
Cochran trying to find something together also. He also took tires under the last caution flag. And we know at this point for Cochran's case, he's been struggling long run. Had to find any advantage possible to get an edge at this point.
The high tire wear tracks are not typically suiting of the C4 racing package. So yeah, fresh tires certainly going to be important for that team.
Right now with less than 40 to go. Can make it on fuel from here if you push it. Be comfortable. 35. Brown, he's got himself loose again.
Big moment. Great save though. That very well could have taken out the 53 and a couple others, as Cochran is right behind these guys.
At him trying to get himself smoothly past, a little bit deeper on the entry. Interesting enough, Bollinger, despite some of the differences here with the fuel versus the tires, he's putting a good fight to these Goodyear Eagles that have a little bit more laps on them. This 53 having a decent job being put together despite everything for second spot right now.
While having fresh tires is good, fast is just fast, and the 53 definitely is that here today. Really been the biggest mainstay up at the front, I would say, all day is Bollinger. After he got up here, really hasn't left the front 4 or 5 all day.
Yeah, he has been quick no matter what it seems. One of the threats for the race win, although he's only led the 9 laps. Kind of pressurizing all day. Landon Kelly, you throw in that mix too. 71 laps led. Couple times we've seen contact for the race lead involving him. One time off his bumper, the other off the rear end. Now with that, Curl is the one reaping the benefits here. As he looks to continue to stretch ahead. 30.432 last time by. Beckett Brown, the 08 car, quicker amongst the top 5 last time through in that pace.
And it wasn't by much, just over a 1/10 of a second. He's got 3 cars in between him. This is where it's the hardest time to pass in the run. Everyone's got about the same stuff. Corey Jones, big issues, meatball flag. That should probably take another one behind the wall.
He's had some trouble spots all throughout the night. And one of the drivers multiple laps down parts of the evening. That's why this time he's going to be in the wall.
Yeah, and that's going to lock up the right front tire. That's probably day over for the 63.
A bit of contact. He's spelled down the order. Christian Barnes, we talked a little bit about his strategies earlier. Right back about where he's been running despite that. Inside the top 10, running in 8. One of the drivers who too also took fresh tires, but is getting hounded by Good after his damage repair.
Another mainstay in the top 10 right in front of him. That's Aaron Baum, has been up here pretty much all day. I don't think he's left the top 10 other than on the pit sequence. That's a tight battle. 27 a little snug in the center. 2 took advantage, pinched him down. They both try and chase down the again fading Cochran, who's gotten passed by Landon Kelly.
Just a move right there to slip on by. Continue to see a lot of these passes happen in these drafting trains that popped up. In your opinion, how big has the draft been? Hold on, hold that thought. Curls up the track, and Hayes drives by like he's standing still.
Yeah, Hayes easily clears in 1 and 2. Not sure if that was an intentional move at the racetrack just to not have them side by side. But Bollinger is in a hurry right now. Hayes slides at the racetrack again, gonna block out of 4. Bollinger got to the outside though, that's bad news for the 15, and here comes Beckett Brown. Clayton Goods on pit road.
Can't confirm. Loose moment for Curl. Front straightaway a couple laps ago. That set up that situation. Now Curl up for grabs by the drivers on older tires, but Bollinger is pitting this time. He just said on the radio. Big pit stop.
Oh, Kelly got him. Kelly hit him in the back.
No damage on the 53 though.
That was close. Oh my goodness.
And Kelly takes responsibility. When it was open, Bollinger says everything's all good. He did not get any damage from it.
Oh, Cochran nailed the fence. Out of 4 that, or out of 2 that time. AD, I think it might be pitting here right away as well.
This is now the money stop sequence. Bollinger did take 4 tires and fuel for his stop. Do we see that from everybody here, or do you take a gamble and say maybe 2 tires with left side tire wear coming into play? Remember, track is now going to start dipping in temperature because the light's about to turn on soon.
Actually, track temp's back up a little bit, 91. Yeah, track definitely changing, kind of unpredictably at this point in the race. Still side by side back here. Baum and Cochran are 6th. And in front of them, Kelly and Barnes.
Yeah, again, here's the thing. Bollinger got lucky. Kelly did not, Morgan. That front end is crushed as Cochran calls for pit road.
Yeah, you can see it. Left front of the 95. It's in trouble.
Cochran able to peel down to pit road with the penalty. Yes. 88 caught for Speedy Morgan.
Had a good run going, and yeah, pit road's going to bite you. You can see the big damage to 95 we were talking about. All the scrapes and dents and splitters up off the racetrack. Just the worst thing to have here when you need all the front downforce you can get. Beckett Brown on pit road. Oh, the 93 sped for sure.
No penalty.
Oh my goodness. I have no idea how that wasn't speeding penalty, but he got everything out of it. Barnes on pit road as well. Money stops underway, like you said.
Hayes and Curl stay on the track, separated by 1 second. No sign of a peel down. Remember, they have a bit more flexible of a window on their choice on coming on down. Barnes amongst those that are still up on the jacks currently. Remember, Landon Kelly, 4 or 5 seconds back of this. This is how much that 95 is hampered here. The 2, Baum already zipping by like nothing.
And how frustrating is it to know you have one of the best cars here You've been fast all day, led the most laps, and it's just a foot that you missed getting around a car slowing down for pit road, and you're the one who gets the most damage out of it. It is just beyond frustrating to be a part of that. Brumley's on pit road.
That was expected when it comes to Brumley's case. Already finishing up service, believe, actually, on a pit road. King will come down this time. He's the last car running in 16th. That's how high the attrition was. We're about half the field out here tonight. River Hayes, pit stop this time by. Oh, and a spin! It's Dustin Lewis in the wall. Lewis slams the outside wall, but River Hayes enters pit road with a speeding penalty.
A second time Hayes has sped on pit road today. Look
This
back.
one might not be recoverable. Let's take a look, as you said.
What happened to the 2 here? Or sorry, the 8 here. King also speeding penalty. This was right as the leader was coming in. He might have had to adjust for the leader. And it just went around. And he tried to save it and steered it back into the fence.
Now he'll hamper his way around the racetrack. Dustin Lewis had a great night going, not anymore. Curl still keeps going. He's now led 20 laps with these plays as of late. 2-car Aaron Baum already indicating a pit stop this time by. Colin Bollinger is currently the first of those to have pit, but has older tires compared to Wilson, who still is right on his bumper.
Here comes Baum to the pit lane. That's a nice, gentle pit entry. And here comes Ullman as well. No speeding penalties for either of those drivers. Got to wonder when Curl's going to bring it down pit road, but Kelly's got to pit first, and he is hemorrhaging time here.
Yeah, there's not much Kelly can do except hope for a caution flag, remain on the lead lap, get the car fixed, try and contend for some top 10 points here. Kind of forced on this play, mind you, with much worse fuel mileage than Curl. He'll have to come down in a couple of laps in his situation.
Oh, Wilson's still trying to get around Bollinger.
This is still your net lead, at least amongst those who took pit calls. Wilson, by the way, that got himself in the spot, Morgan, took 2 tires side by side again.
Now the question for Wilson, clearly fast in the short run, does it give up? So we can get another 10, 15 laps into this thing when we get close to the end.
Girl is in, by the way, so is Kelly. The last of the drivers outside of Jared Knopfsnyder have peeled down pit road. Knopfsnyder's advantage is 17 seconds. Bollinger continues to hold firm. Now the question is, what is the call going to be for Curl? To answer the question, he's at least up on the checks currently.
Looks like it's going to be 2. Yeah, 2 tires. No, 4 tires for Curl. Kelly with 2. He's going to keep the damage. Where's Bollinger? Easy clear for Bollinger.
Bollinger able to zip by, and that gets his advantage for the net lead, and that remains with just 1 car yet to pit. Jared Knopfsnyder is hoping for a caution flag. He can still stretch it for a few more laps if he wants to. Can get to under 10 to go on the mileage.
That gap. Bollinger back to Curl. That's 4 seconds. So we just saw the 93 catch the wall pretty good. Beckett Brown hasn't gone away either. He's still right there. Fresher tires at that.
Yeah, and Brown might have a good chance here. He's equal to Wilson, but the difference is 4 tires compared to 2 on his play. That's how much time he's picked up with a 30.1 the last time by. 2 tenths quicker than 2 cars in front of him last time by. Has to get around the 93 fast. He gets underneath them. Wilson up to the outside. Gets zipped on by with less than 18 laps to go. That puts Brown in net second.
Brown's best friend right now is Dylan Brumley, who's going to get way out of the way in the 9. Dirty air going to hurt the 53 on the exit of turn 4. Knopfsnyder still leading the way here.
At this point, just begging somebody make a mistake. The problem is, they can pass that point possibly. There goes lap traffic out of the way of battle race lead. By the way, as I finish that sentence, Zachary Kingdom was spun out in 3 and 4. Held on to it. He is the next car in line to be lapped a little bit in this race.
Beckett Brown definitely faster right now than the 53 is. Is Bollinger saving anything for these final 15 or so laps?
Yeah, Knopfsnyder just said on the radio, I need a caution. Manny Kelly, same. So there's at least 2 drivers, maybe 3 that are saying, come on, caution. And they're rolling the dice. Here
I don't
comes
know
the race lead.
what the 48's able to do into the corners, but his entry speed is incredible compared to basically everyone else out here. It's almost like he clutches it into the corner as a long shift or something, but he's able to carry a lot of speed. And he might be able to carry enough speed to make the pass for the lead off of 4. Oh, into the wall. They're going to wreck each other. They're both wrecking in the outside wall.
Bollinger gets the worst of it, pushed back to 3rd. Wilson jumps to 2nd. And that fender that Bollinger fixed, it's damaged again. Tempers flaring late with less than 14 laps to go. Brown trying to maintain the gap now. Wilson trying to take advantage.
Yeah, if you're Bollinger, you are beyond frustrated right now. Wilson now has the opportunity to take advantage, as I believe Brown caught some wall contact as well. I don't know how bad it was for the 48.
Yeah, at least the frame of the car, the body looks okay, but here's the question of, did he pick up chassis damage? Did he pick anything underneath the car? The speed's still there, 31.4 last time by. Bollinger was actually quicker last time by than him. Beckett Brown, or rather that's comparison, Beckett Brown 30.5. Bollinger was the same speed as Knopfsnyder on much older tires is the way I'm trying to say it.
And we'll see, this lap is after the rebound. Yeah, definitely slower for Bollinger. We'll go one more lap here and see how badly the 53 is hurt, but Curl has caught him from a ways back.
Don't forget his situation. Curl, one of the freshest tires set in the field. He's got 7 lap fresher tires and 10th quicker than everybody in the race lead. Downside is he needs 2 to 3 seconds gain to have a shot at the race leader and needs to do it in 11 laps.
Yeah, step 1, he's got to clear the 53. He's going to do that easily. Yeah, Bollinger way off the pace, about half a second slower. Then Beckett Brown, who would net out to the lead. Of course, leader right now, still Jared Knopfsnyder, who is hoping for a caution, as he said on the radio. Wilson fading a little bit, about 0.2 slower than Beckett Brown, but Curl, as you mentioned, about a second away from Wilson.
He got himself his first win in the Cup Series, Slim Chicken's Cup Series competition. 10 to go. Knopfsnyder already indicated pitting this upcoming time by. Knopfsnyder is pitting off turn 3. Okay,
Bold
that's
strategy.
an interesting spot.
Bold strategy, caught.
Yep, that's a good 5 to 7 seconds there, at least. As Beckett Brown does take the lead on the track. Knopfsnyder led 10 laps for his first laps of the night.
Might be the 82's first laps of the season, actually.
Yeah, no top 10. 24th, the points coming in. But Brown, lead is growing more than a second, and it's expanding. Looking like he is getting the pace down. Remember, those left side tires might be starting to come into play for Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson, half a tenth slower than Brown that time. Curl, 10th and a half faster than both of them. Yeah, Curl is on the hunt right now. If he can get around Wilson, he's got to do it fast, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. It's definitely there, especially if traffic comes into play here.
Right now, Brown hoping this car holds out. Was actually a touch bit quicker last time by. Curl, right now, flowing ever closer. By the way, Bollinger, you see Christian Barnes actually alongside for 4th spot. Late race resurgence for the 27.
It just needed the long run to have the 27 really wake up, and he is delivering right now.
I mean, he does have a pizza sponsor on the car.
That's why I said it.
Yes, indeed. But right now, coming to 5 to go. Curl is within range for 2nd, but will need some help to get to the lead. Curl, 10 quicker than the leader at this point, would not get 1st, might get 2nd if Wilson makes a mistake. That's the best he can hope for right now.
Yeah, the question is, can Wilson hang on, really? I think Beckett Brown now is just a little too far out of reach. I thought Curl could maybe get around Wilson on this lap, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen here, as Gillen's going to even throw a bigger wrench into it, and that's really going to frustrate these top 3. Having a lap car on fresher tires try and work around them.
Yeah, this is going to be potentially what costs Curl an opportunity to move up one more step. Still a good points day regardless here, you can argue. There goes the traffic of Gillen way up the wall. Thought it was going to be a potential contact with the way he was angling coming off of the Black Diamond machine.
Yeah, I have to wonder what the goal is here at this point, but I guess that's between them. 4 to go.
Down to the final 3.
Yeah, Beckett Brown here working around the 8. Remember that 8 was fast all night. Had an issue. Dustin Lewis will finish 4 laps down in this one. Back in 14th, should we be able to finish these last 3 laps the way we expect them to.
Couple laps to go for Brown. The 48 car has already gone to victory lane this season. Looks to do it again. Brown just a few moments away from another victory as Curl is within 1.2, 1.3 seconds.
Yeah, Curl finally got around Wilson, but it's too little too late.
Coming up to the white flag this time by Beckett Brown. So far, his win percentage about 33% when it comes to the MRL and Slim Chickens Cup Series competition. With the white flag out, all he needs to do is prevent a slide, prevent a mistake. Brown tonight, one of the more dominant cars with more than 50 laps led. Will end the night with 59 through 3 and 4 for the final time. Move that win percentage up a little bit. To 50% it goes. The second time this season, Beckett Brown wins here in Slim Chickens Cup Series racing. Looks like he's doing the Naruto Deja Vu slide, as you say, to celebrate 50%, 2 of 4 on his starts this season. He's gone to victory lane.
Yeah, just excellent run tonight. There's really not much more you can say about it. Started back in the 26th spot, and that's going to gain him the most positions of anyone today. It's up 25. Now it'll pass Tech for sure.
I don't know about that right front. It's a little bit squished.
Yeah.
Very strong car. Ends up in victory lane. Colin Bollinger picked up the fastest lap in the 29.6s, 6:09. Beckett Brown was 3rd quickest in fast laps. Curl and Wilson amongst the podium positions also, as Brown just continues to tear this car up on the celebration. So, as he'll continue the celebration here, let's take a look at the unofficial race results tonight. Here from Texas, Brown, Curl, and Wilson all make it to the top 3 tonight. Difference from first to third, 2.8 seconds. Christian Barnes holds back Bollinger after Bollinger slide back to 5th after the contact late. Good bomb woman. Once the top 8, Landon Kelly held on to the lead lap with the significant damage, but only finished in 9th. River Hayes with the speeding penalty still gets top 10 points.
11th tonight, Brumley in the 45. Excellent fill-in for that Reggie Kime piloted machine normally. Will finish just at the top 10. Cochran with the speeding penalty finishes in 12th. Knopfschneider had a wild day, finishes in the 13th position. Lewis looked like he was going to finish top 10. 14th is where he will finish. Gillen in the 10th or in the 15th spot. Sorry, King in 16th. This is the last driver running. Now Jones in 17th, Thornton 18th, Fiffner and White round out your top 20.
21st goes to Robertson amongst the DNF list with Allen. Moyer with 100 laps down. Vincent 24th. Nelson got a couple hard hits tonight in 25th. Hunt, Hinson, Benke, Powell, Pollock amongst the drivers out and off circuit tonight. Here from No Limits, Texas, here on this one.
Well,
so an interesting order, Morgan.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can catch up with our top 3. Let's start off with Isaac Wilson.
Yes, indeed, Isaac Wilson took a gamble. 2-tire call got you track position. You held on to it in the top 3. What made you decide 2 tires was the way to go?
Like, I don't got the nickname the Gambler for nothing. Throughout that last run, the chase started coming in. Started realizing it wasn't as loose off of 4. I think I was running 8th or 9th at the time. I think there's only 12 in the lead lap, so I figured take 2 here. I think there's a lot more to gain than there is to lose, and hope it sticks. And I took 2, and it just shot off like a rocket. If Curl would have caught me sooner, I would have let him by a little bit easier, let him and Beckett battle. Maybe I could have made up some ground, but I'll take a P3. I kind of feel bad I caught that caution and it ruined a couple people's nights. It got loose off of 4, which was odd because hadn't got loose all night long.
Yeah, this track seemed very difficult to battle across, to say the least, in terms of the balance. A lot of drivers, apparently tight was the name of the game, but last night, name of the game, would you say, is loose?
Oh, absolutely. Those first 2 stages, when the sun was still out off of 2, you really had to be careful off of 2. But Texas is one of those tracks to where believe it or not, I don't know how to run it. And then when I say don't know how to run it, I don't know how to take 1 and 2 aggressively. And I think that kind of saves me in the long run just because of the fact I'm not attacking 1 and 2 like a lot of people are. I'm taking a little bit more passively. So I tend to have a really good long run car here at Texas. So I was kind of happy to see that last green flag go green.
On that note, 5 top 5s in 7 starts this season puts you right in the mix for the point standing. 7-point difference to Bomb coming into tonight. That point difference going to shrink, obviously, with the way things go. Kind of thoughts on being a contender in the points format early on in the season? I believe it was you that said you're a little bit more skeptical potentially in the championship contention window.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I got. There's so many fast people in here. It's funny you say 5 top 5s and 4 of them came at tracks outside of Talladega or Daytona. 3 of them came at tracks that I usually don't do well at, or I'm not my favorite at. And my 2 favorite tracks that we have ran so far, I didn't even get a top 10 at. So maybe this is a good luck charm to go at tracks that I'm not a really big fan of. I'm not that good at. So as far as championship contentions, I mean, once the chase starts and everyone gets bound up, I mean, I'll kind of have to wait a couple races to see where I'm sitting at. But you got Beckett, Collin, Curl, Hayes, just to name a few that are fast each and every week. I know Hayes kind of got caught speeding today. I think he would have been up there battling with me and Curl at the end of that race, and he got caught speeding at that last pit stop.
Anyone you want to give a shout out to here tonight?
Shout out to you guys putting on the show. Shout out to the league, putting the league on. I got to give a shout out to AWG, Boozy Racewear, Next Level Racing, Sword Apparel, and we just brought on Rogue Energy, so give a shout out to them. And that's about it. So on to wherever we're at next week.
North Wilkesboro.
Oh, short track.
Hey, 750 horsepower.
Yeah, it's just a short track, and they're hit or miss. I mean, last week at Martinsville, I had good speed. I get caught up by, surprisingly, the winner. Rear-ended someone into me, gave me a ton of damage. So if I can stay out of trouble, I could possibly be up there for a top 10, top 5. Be kind of curious to see how Charles does. I know he had a really good speed last week at Martinsville, so keep an eye on Charles next week.
Congratulations on the podium here tonight.
Thank you.
Isaac Wilson gets himself on the podium today. Devin Curl, yet again, coming up just shy. A second place run. He's with Morgan.
Devin, JP, and Morgan up in the booth. You got a copy.
I do, man.
Well, it was a pretty solid run for you in the back half of this race. You had some issues in traffic kind of to start it out in stage number 1. Was it just the sun going down? Was that what woke up the 15, or what was the key to success here in the back part of this race?
Well, I kept it out of the fence. That was that was a big part of it. The first stage there was just doing some strategy, took no tires, and that's kind of why I wasn't able to get back to the field to get stage points. Second stage also didn't take tires, but smacked the wall right after I came out of the pits and had some damage in the right front, and just had to limp it home behind the first 2 guys there. I thought we had it pretty keyed up. I had more tires, I believe, than the other guys, and all I was hoping for was the last stage to go as well as the first 2 stages did as far as cautions. And unfortunately, it almost did, but it didn't quite pan out the way I wanted it to. I was hoping for that last caution not to come out. We were on better tires, and I think we could have stretched it further and had a few more laps to get Beckett Brown there. But nonetheless, second place is good, and I'm happy to actually finish a race because I've had a bad few races here.
Well, definitely turned it around from last night. That one didn't quite go your way here at Texas, but I mean, you ran last night, you ran tonight. I mean, just how polar opposite were these 2 cars from the B car last night to the next gen tonight?
Yeah, last night you really had to protect the right front from this green flag. There's nothing else you could do but hold on. I feel like it was like Bristol a few years ago in the real Cup cars. You just had to go in there and baby it and hope to be there at the end. Unfortunately, I tried stretching the fuel last night a little too long and then spun out coming to pit road. So then I had to tow because we couldn't get it refired. But anyway, yeah, this car felt way better than the B car. And I thought I was in a good spot there coming to the green flag pit stop there right at the end. And I don't know, out of nowhere, just got loose coming off 4. Lucky that I even caught it. It was almost another DNF for me, but we were able to fishtail it all the way down the front straightaway and hang on to it. And probably should have finished 3rd. River Hayes was probably the one to win. He had same tires as me, better tires than Beckett, and was ahead of him, but pit road got him. So unfortunately, my teammate wasn't able to bring it home. But nonetheless, like I said, second place I'm happy with. I haven't had any luck since I won at Martinsville last week. So hoping to turn some things around here.
Absolutely. And while you're up here in the podium position here, getting the team points for your guys, who you want to thank, who you want to shout out here tonight?
Yeah, just the fun racing with my teammate River. We were 3 and 4 wide there, middle of the race, and can't ask for much more racing your teammate and being able to be 3 and 4 wide and have fun like that. That's why we're all here. We don't like to pace; we like to race, and we did just that tonight. And then thank my wife for letting me get on here and do it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time, Devin. Congratulations on second spot. We'll see you next time out.
See you guys.
Devin Curl coming away second spot tonight. Beckett Brown is the man of the hour. Able to come away with the second win on the season. Beckett, you made a few starts in the series. You're 50% on your win percentage now as you've joined Victory Lane. How are you feeling?
Awesome, getting my 2 wins and my 2 home tracks. That's awesome.
Yeah, talk about the approach over the course of this race because you had to battle hard. Of course, seeing a bit of contact come into play as well in that battle for the race lead.
Yeah, I had been better than him in the middle of the run at the end, and I was figuring he didn't go as much on the exit as much as I thought he would have, and he'd been clearing me really well on exit, so I thought I'd just fallen behind him, and he didn't wash up as much, and he didn't have as much better of a run than I thought he would have, and we made contact, and I hit him down the track, but I mean, I felt bad, and we fell back to 3rd, or 4th really, so I feel like I got some instant karma there, but yeah, just, man, that was fun.
A fun battle to say the very least over the course of this one, Beckett. Now, when's your next scheduled start when it comes to the Cup side?
Everything goes to plan next week.
How do you feel about next week then in North Wilkesboro?
North Wilkesboro, I haven't run an official race there or a hosted race, so we'll have to go run some laps and see the race as we go like I usually do. But I think we've got a good couple tracks lined up with Talladega. You know, anybody can win that, so it's really just right time, right place for the time going on.
Any shows you'd like to give here tonight?
Obviously, Dan Motorsports, can't do it without him. Adam for letting me run the 48 while he's not wanting to run the races he's wanting to. He's gonna take it back throughout the year for the races he wants to. But Landon for always good racing with him. But I mean, the whole field ran a great race, great strategy.
Congratulations on the win tonight, Beckett.
Thank you.
Beckett Brown gets it done here from Texas. Like thank the entire top three for speaking to us here on VSPEED. Final thoughts tonight, Morgan, as again, Beckett Brown going to be amongst those competing in the Mystic Racing League in the Cup Series next week, with Slim Chickens a part of the Cup Series sponsorship, obviously. But North Wilkesboro, a short track race, going to be an interesting test since we've seen the track since some of the previous races get the new art scan.
And it's not only a short track, but it's a short track where handling and momentum matter, unlike Martinsville, where it's really more of a survival kind of race. I mean, you really can be good at Wilkesboro by doing different things on the racetrack. I'm looking forward to seeing who can adapt well and who's going to struggle to adapt to that new art update that you just mentioned. But we're setting up an interesting run of races: Wilkesboro, Dega, Eldora, and Dover. I mean, you could not pick 4 more different racetracks for our next 4 races here, and we're getting into the cream of the season. This is going to be a fun one.
It's going to be a fun time when we go back to racing next week, and coverage starts approximately 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time. Catch that here on VSPEED. Just about time to say goodbye. For my co-announcer and producer, Morgan Cook, for our camera provider, Dougie Beard, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Till the rest of your evening. Hope you've been enjoying tonight's coverage of the Slim Chickens Cup Series here from Texas Motor Speedway. We'll see you next time out from North Wilkesboro.